this is what we call white wedding. We call it white wedding.
Why will it be a white wedding?
We inherited from white men like you people.
Last I checked, I'm a black man. Why would y'all say white?
So when they say white wedding, they're saying that what we do.
We have our traditional way of doing wedding, but this is intertribal marriage from different countries.
So since Ashia is here in Nigeria, can she have the traditional Igbo wedding?
It's not going to be possible, but you can have a celebration that is cultural.
Yeah.
You bring like dance group, come dance, cultural food. That is the celebration. But the actual traditional marriage is not possible because she's not a Nigerian. She's not an Igbo girl.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to do is to dress Ashia in our own traditional attire. She will put on gele, big hair tie, and put on flowing gown. And she will be dancing around, throwing money on her and Maxwell.
I think that sounds good, especially the money throwing.
If somebody said I got dance around to get money thrown, it sounds like a stripper. They can make it rain on my wedding night, but guess what? All these clothes are staying on.
And do y'all have certain wedding foods, or is it whatever we pick?
Because we are Christian, we are not engaging in alcohol.
So no Nigerian wedding have alcohol?
No, they are having alcohol, but we are Christians, so we have to avoid alcohol.
I guess I gotta bring my own bottle, BYOB or something.
Hey. So thank you so much again, Asia. I'm going to jump right in with my line of questioning. Please.
Oh, girl. You going to grill me?
Yeah, I would not too much.
Okay.
Now, you're 39 and found yourself traveling across the world on 90 Day Fiancé for love. What did you understand about love at 39 that you might not have understood at age 29?
Girl, if I would have even fathomed the idea of being in a serious relationship in my 20s, it would have been a hot mess.
Oh, Lord.
If you get mature and you know what you want, and like when you're young, you're like, oh, I want somebody tall, I want them handsome, I want them making a lot of money. Like you want all these like superficial things. Well, you still want to make that money, but but as you get older, that list gets a little bit longer. As y'all saw from the show, I had a very long list, but you just start, you discover yourself and you discover what you want.
I loved your list, by the way. It was like setting boundaries off the top, period.
Okay.
Somebody's like, no, we're going to fill in that hairline and we're going to do this. I loved it all. Okay. Now, was there a point when you thought maybe finding my person just isn't going to happen before you got on the show?
Now there were times where I was like, Lord, am I gonna be an old lady? Am I gonna be like 80 and 90 finding this man? Like, like when is this gonna happen? Because God told me about my husband at 16.
Period.
Like, okay, I've been waiting a long time. Is it still gonna happen, Lord? Have I did something wrong? Am I gonna get a man? Like, you tell me. So it was a long wait, okay?
It was a long wait, a wait of faith.
No,
So what was it about Maxwell that made you take such a huge leap of faith?
I feel like it was more God guiding me in that direction. But now I can find a good looking man. I can find a man with some money, girl. But
Okay.
the thing I cannot connect with is a godly man. Like the men in the church were just like they would go to church, they say they're reading the word, but they would not apply the words. So I was really having some kind of disconnect. I just felt like I was not equally yoked with any of these men. And so when me and Maxwell connected on Tinder, it was the first thing I asked him because I was tired. I was like, what's your religion?
Okay.
Do you go to church? And he's like, I'm Pentecostal, and yes, I go to church faithfully. So I was like, oh, okay, like let's get all that out the way. Now I'm weeding them out. But so like, and he's like, yeah, this is what I do. So I was like, okay, finally somebody that's kind of on the same wavelength as me.
Okay, I love that. I love that you manifested and you just didn't give up on that. Now,
Right.
now that you've done this, what would you say to women who feel like they've missed their window of opportunity, especially older women?
I don't feel like you can ever, or if like, I don't feel like you can ever miss a window. I just feel like when it's God's timing, it's going to happen. I feel like it's a matter of being prepared.
Mhm.
I had a long time to get prepared. But it's the thing about it. Even and then, I didn't really like. I own a restaurant, but I never pay attention really to how they're cooking the food.
Mhm.
So if God was to bless me with somebody, am I going to be able to prepare meals for this man? Am I going to be prepare healthy meals for my family? So I wasn't prepared in that aspect. Cleaning, I'm not very organized. So girl, I had to go get a housekeeper because I was like, okay, like you got to get yourself together, girl. I ain't real domesticated. And
Lord.
so, you know, I'm like, you got to prepare. Like I would give anybody advice, prepare for what you want and know what you want. And then that's kind of like God's not going to bless you with anything if you're not ready. So God had to hurry up and fast track me and say, hey, you better get ready because you ain't ready, girl. You will
No.
miss it if you're not. Yeah.
If you would have seen my backdrop before I cut this camera off, and I'm sitting here talking about, okay, maybe I can learn from her. So you say clean your room, Asia? That's what you're telling me to do, girl?
You better clean that room. I'm telling you. And you ain't listen, let me tell you something. You don't have to do it, girl. You better pay somebody. Like that's my
Okay.
it doesn't matter how it gets done, just so it gets done. And I've learned that actually, listening to like how Rod and his wife relationship is, like
Hmm.
one thing about it is like they have an understanding. He make the money, but she gotta cook.
Okay.
She have that meal ready, but she don't have to like get in the kitchen herself. Like she can go get takeout sometimes, and he can't complain because that's their agreement. As long as she puts some food on the table. How I get done, girl, just so you do it.
Period.
Yeah.
Now, I love that you said you matched on Tinder. What
Mhm.
else has this experience taught you about vulnerability?
You definitely have to be willing to put yourself out there. Because like I told God, I was like, okay, you're telling me that this man is not near. So I'm like, okay, so how do I connect? I feel like you have to definitely be open. You have to put yourself out there and you have to be vulnerable. And some of us women, like we about this work life and we don't have time, but you just have to stop and just say, like, you know what, I'm gonna make time to, really foster these type of relationships. Because at the end of the day, we can be successful, but we don't want to be lonely.
Right. I agree.
Um,
What has been the biggest challenge or the biggest cultural difference between you and Maxwell that you did not anticipate?
Definitely the age thing. Like, cause here in the US, I feel like we do what we want to do. Like, if you like
Right.
some, as long as you're pedophile, but you
Okay.
can like them young, you can like them old. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can do kind of what you want to do. But I feel like they're culturally, they don't date older women. So I feel like that was the biggest shocker. Like, people are not just free to do what they want to do when it comes to loving a person.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, and that's crazy that you say that because I love that you when it came out and that was a continuing conversation, especially with his sister. You was like, "Listen, you are a third wheel." That
And let me tell you, the daddy, the one who called her like what is he? He called her third party. The dad was the one who like first coined that, and I was just like, you know what? She is like, get out my business. Heck
period.
off. Like, girl, you over here, you married, you happy, and you living your best life. You got your three kids, and then look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to convince this man that I'm not the one for him but you're happy. You don't want him to be happy. You don't want me to be happy. So I'm just like, girl, you better go on about your business.
Okay, and stood on business about that too. Now, did you always feel like you had to prove that he was your person?
I do. I do feel like with certain people, it definitely was a struggle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I had a close relative, he's a minister too. And so like that was one of the first people that I talked to get advice. And they were like, no, like you met them on social media. Like that's desperate. Oh, he's in Nigeria. Oh no, they're scammers. So it was just like a lot of negativity. And people are just real skeptical, but it's okay because I have to do what's best for me.
Right, facts. Do you think there is a double standard in how people react to older women versus older men dating down?
Well, it is, but it ain't. Because I feel like it depends on like how big the age gap is. Now, if I see an older man dating a younger woman, I'm just like, oh, baby, she getting all his money. But and then on the trade-off, he's getting a youthful young female woman.
Right,
So I'm like,
right,
okay, it's kind of balancing out. So that's how I see like, can they really just love each other? But
right.
then, okay, I guess when it's a younger man and an older woman, like I could kind of see it two ways. Like maybe he just prefer older women, but then maybe looking for a sugar mama. I don't know. So I can see where people a little bit like it can look a little scammerish, but it's okay. It's okay.
Now, how easy or how difficult was it to bridge both families together coming from different cultures?
I ain't gonna say it's easy, but I'm not gonna say it's hard. Because I feel like my mom is like very like straightforward. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna ride or die for me. So I didn't know like really how they would take that.
Hmm.
But I was surprised, like no matter what my mom said, like some things I was like looking like, oh, I'm surprised they didn't like go back and forth a little bit, but they respected her. And I guess because of her age, like they
Hmm.
gave her more grace than they gave me.
Right.
And so with,
Mm.
with them, I felt like it was just a mess, like how they treated me. And then it was like I can't really stand up to myself for myself because like if I do too much, I'm coming off as disrespectful.
Right, right,
It was very hard, and then trying to bring the two together, like it's almost like you're trying to walk on eggshells.
right, right, right,
And then you're trying to be the buffer too. Like I don't want them to go awry because we want them to be happy and we want unity.
right, right. Well, you look good together. I will tell you that. All the treatments and everything that you took over there, they worked.
Mhm.
So, was there a moment during filming when you thought, "What have I gotten myself into?"
There's plenty of moments during like plenty of moments during film. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then it's like usually it's on the back end, it's like the hindsight. I was like, okay, I can't believe I said
Oh,
that. Or why did I do that? I was like, oh my gosh, like when people see this, it's gonna be super crazy. So yeah, there were several moments where I just felt that way.
no. Now, looking back at some of the episodes, what have you learned about yourself when watching your own journey?
I am strong. Like I never like when these people came, like, okay. So I thought I was very likable. Like that's first and foremost. I thought I was the most likable person. Everybody loved Aisha. That's what I thought. And so, and then after like the first release of the show, like it's like, okay, the show's gonna air such date. People are like really coming like, oh, this stupid girl, she's dating this scammer. So then I was like, okay, well, y'all just watch and wait and see, right? And then when the first episode came out, I was like, okay, they're gonna love me. And then when they saw like my church scene, they were like, oh, she's crazy, she's the Lulu. And I was just like, oh, they ain't gonna like me at all.
But it panned out beautifully in the end, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yes.
Now,
It's kind of still like it's love, it's like 50-50. Some love me, some hate me.
it's still new.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you have a strong belief in God. Have you ever had to distinguish between what you believe God is telling you? Like you said, God been telling you since you were a younger girl that that you were going to get married, you were going to find your man,
Hmm.
versus what other people think God is telling you about your relationship.
Hmm. Yeah, it is hard, you know what I'm saying? But this is what I've taught myself, and this is what works best for me. Now, because you have your voice, you have God's
Mhm.
voice, and then you hear that little demon, the devil.
Okay.
And so it is hard to decipher it sometimes. But I've learned usually the first voice, like that first voice is usually God's voice. Then the devil comes after that and try to get you to like, oh, that ain't what I said. That ain't what God said. That ain't it. That's you. He kind of gets you kind of confused. But I was like, okay. I always take a step back and I was like, okay, what did I hear the first time? Okay, then I said, okay, does what I hear the first time line up with this word?
Mhm.
If it lines up with this word, I continue on because at the end of the day, like the devil was like, why would you go with somebody across the world? You don't know what they're doing over there. Like, you're going to have all those doubts. But at the end of the day, when I go back to the word, what does the word say? Be with somebody that you're equally yoked with.
Mm.
And I was like, at the end of the day, I am equally yoked with this man. If nothing else, we are equally yoked. If we were to get married, that we would be able to raise godly children. And that's what I stood on.
Period.
Mhm.
Now, do you think you found love because you stopped romanticizing about what that looked like in a particular person?
Now, let me see. Did I stop romanticizing? Now, I ain't gonna say that because I'm a hopeless romantic.
Okay.
Myself. So I just always believed in like the dream wedding, the dream relationship, bringing up Christian children. So, like, girl, I probably be like a little grandma, still just romanticizing. That's just me. I'm just a hopeless romantic.
I love this. And this is my last question. What do you hope a woman watching your story says to herself when this season ends?
If she's single, I feel like that just be patient and wait on God. And that, whatever her situation is, like, if you trust God, that He's always going to deliver. It might not be the way you think it's going to be, it might be total opposite, but know that if you're in the will of God, He's going to work it out for your good.
Period. So I'm that woman you're speaking to, and I thank you, girl.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed you.
Thank you.
You well.
This is what we call white wedding. We call it white wedding.
Why will it be a white wedding?
We inherited from white men like you people.
Last I checked, I'm a black man. Why would y'all say white?
So when they say white wedding, they're saying that what we do.
We have our traditional way of doing wedding, but this is intertribal marriage from different countries.
So since Ashia is here in Nigeria, can she have the traditional Igbo wedding?
It's not going to be possible. But you can have a celebration that is cultural.
Yeah.
You bring like dance group, come dance, cultural food. That is the celebration. But the actual traditional marriage is not possible because she's not a Nigerian. She's not an Igbo girl.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to do is to dress Ashia in our own traditional attire. She will put on gele, big hair tie, and put on flowing gown. And she will be dancing around, throwing money on her and Maxwell.
I think that sounds good, especially the money throwing.
If somebody said I got dance around to get money thrown, it sounds like a stripper. They can make it rain on my wedding night, but guess what? All these clothes are staying on.
And do y'all have certain wedding foods, or is it whatever we pick?
Because we are Christian, we are not engaging in alcohol.
So no Nigerian wedding have alcohol?
No, they are having alcohol, but we are Christians, so we have to avoid alcohol.
I guess I gotta bring my own bottle, BYOB or something.